Well, it may be the first time a Western government openly denied any suggestions the Russian government was not involved in political hacking, but certainly the allegations themselves are far from unique. The Russia hacked narrative has been dominating headlines for the past year, and the very same groups which were believed to have hacked Macron's campaign were named. RT's Alexey Yaroshevsky reports.
When the Russians hacked Macron campaign frenzy began in late April, it was spurned by a Tokyo-based cybersecurity firm, Trend Micro. There are several things which suggest that the group behind the Macron hacking was also responsible for the DNC breach, it said. We found similarities in the IP addresses and malware used in the attacks, said Rick Ferguson, vice president of Trend Micro's security research program. He also said we cannot say for sure whether this was directed by the Russian government, but the group behind the attacks certainly appears to pursue Russian interests. Now, here's Trend Micro's report itself, squarely pinning the blame on the hack of the French presidential candidate's campaign onto the hacker group known as Pawn Storm. The report did not explicitly say the group was run by the Russian government, but it cited those who had gone on record saying exactly that. The US cybersecurity firm FireEye, the CEO of which said that on Capitol Hill.
Is this a process of elimination, much like a doctor doing a diagnosis saying it's not this, 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 and then it must be this? Or do you think there's something that zeroes in and says, no, that's really it, and here's the evidence that links it?
So we can only take it so far. We're not going to fly people into Moscow and troll the streets trying to find a building. We have to do it by process of elimination. We have to do it by just deduction.
Sounds a bit like a guessing game, isn't it? And at times it seems like all this has been one, judging by the number of all cool names given to this mysterious hacker group. App28, Fancy Bear, So Fancy, and Strontium. And some experts had no doubts these hackers were run by the Russian military intelligence agency, GRU. Experts including the firm CrowdStrike. Yes, that CrowdStrike, which was the first to declare the DNC was hacked by the Russians. Its boss, Dmitry Alperovich, also a senior fellow at Atlantic Council think tank, boasted in a blog post back then that the IR team was deployed and identified a bunch of bears involved in DNC hack, continuing that those were definitely affiliated with GRU and also linked the intrusions into the German parliament and the French TV station. Fast forward for what would be a bad year for CrowdStrike's credibility, when first their allegation Russia hacked Ukraine's artillery systems was debunked by Ukraine's defense ministry, and then none other than US government-funded outlet, The Voice of America, caught the firm misattributing quotes to a think tank which said it had never said those. And that's the very same CrowdStrike which not only broke the DNC hack story, but also got exclusive access to the hacked DNC servers. Not even the FBI had such privileges, as admitted by the former director Comey. But this might give you an idea why. According to the US government spending website, CrowdStrike won a US government contract for $150,000. Who paid for their services? Well, funded by the DOJ, and the FBI is listed as contracting office agency. The contract was signed on July 8, 2015 and lasted through July 7, 2016, right in the midst of the election campaign. The website doesn't say what exactly CrowdStrike did for the DOJ and the FBI, citing telecom analysis and other computer-related services. But now put this all in one hat. Pawn Storm, aka Fancy Cozy Bear, App28, and so on and so forth, accused of hacking Macron and the DNC. Several firms, one of them on FBI payroll for at least a year, openly claimed it was run by the Russian spies and hacked the entire Western world. But now the French intelligence says that the Russian government had no involvement in Macron's hack. Now, all this, of course, would not negate the existence of this shady group, and even the suggestions that it may have hacked numerous Western political institutions. But when it comes to the question of who actually stands behind their actions, no one seems determined to find an answer to that. Alexey Yaroshevsky, RT, reporting from Washington, D.C.